CLEP Principles of Management Management Functions. Question 1. Where does an organization relies on written rules, hierarchy, specialization, and formal procedures within a non-profit organization for the Crescent unit fit best in management terminology? Option A. Adhocracy. Option B. Bureaucracy. Option C. Grapevine. Option D. Job enrichment. The correct answer is option B. Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy fits because bureaucracy is a formal structure built around rules, hierarchy, and defined roles. Adhocracy is different because it is flexible and innovation-oriented, grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns work for motivation. Question 2. Should a student connect managers study broad principles such as unity of command and division of work inside a regional branch for the Crescent unit with which management concept? Option A. Scientific management. Option B. Administrative management. Option C. Quantitative management. Option D. E-business. The correct answer is option B. Administrative management. Administrative management fits because administrative management focuses on general principles for managing organizations. Scientific management is different because it focuses more on individual task efficiency. Quantitative management is different because it applies mathematical models, and e-business is different because it uses digital technology for business processes. Question 3. Which concept is shown when a leader changes direction and support based on follower readiness in a customer service center for the Crescent unit? Option A. Situational leadership. Option B. Autocratic leadership. Option C. Bureaucratic management. Option D. Job enrichment. The correct answer is option A. Situational leadership. Situational leadership fits because situational leadership adapts leader behavior to the maturity or readiness of followers. Autocratic leadership is different because it consistently centers decisions on the leader. Bureaucratic management is different because it emphasizes formal rules, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns jobs for motivation. Question 4. A leader focuses first on helping followers grow and succeed at a family-owned business for the Crescent unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A. Autocratic leadership. Option B. Transactional leadership. Option C. Scientific management. Option D. Servant leadership. The correct answer is option D. Servant leadership. Servant leadership fits because servant leadership prioritizes follower development, service, and trust. Autocratic leadership is different because it emphasizes command by the leader. Transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes performance exchanges, and scientific management is different because it emphasizes efficient work methods. Question 5. During a management case, workers are told that safety goggles must be worn in the lab in a multinational company for the Crescent unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A. Policy. Option B. Strategy. Option C. Empowerment. Option D. Rule. The correct answer is option D. Rule. Rule fits because a rule states exactly what must or must not be done. Policy is different because it offers broad guidance rather than a specific command. Strategy is different because it sets broad direction, and empowerment is different because it gives employees more decision authority. Question 6. How should a manager classify a situation where a new competitor enters the market with lower prices at a new startup for the Crescent unit? Option A. Strength. Option B. Opportunity. Option C. Procedure. Option D. Threat. The correct answer is option D. Threat. Threat fits because a threat is an external condition that can harm performance. Strength is different because it is an internal advantage, opportunity is different because it is an external positive condition, and procedure is different because it is a sequence of steps. Question 7. When a manager compares actual performance with standards and corrects a gap at a warehouse facility for the Crescent unit, which concept is being applied? Option A. Planning. Option B. Organizing. Option C. Leading. Option D. Controlling. The correct answer is option D. Controlling. Controlling fits because controlling measures results, compares them with standards, and triggers corrective action. Planning is different because it sets goals but does not measure completed results. Organizing is different because it assigns work and authority, and leading is different because it motivates people rather than evaluates variances. Question 8. After a diagram shows formal positions and reporting relationships inside a project team for the Crescent unit, which label best fits the action? Option A. Organization chart. Option B. Balance sheet. Option C. SWOT table. Option D. Training plan. The correct answer is option A. Organization chart. Organization chart fits because an organization chart visually displays formal authority and reporting lines. Balance sheet is different because it reports financial position, SWOT table is different because it summarizes strategic factors, and training plan is different because it develops employee skills. Question 9. If branch managers are allowed to solve local customer problems without headquarters approval inside a training program for the Crescent unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, decentralization. Option B, centralization. Option C, bureaucracy. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option A, decentralization. Decentralization fits because decentralization gives lower levels more authority to make decisions. Centralization is different because it keeps authority at the top, bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 10. To analyze a case where a decision affects owners, employees, customers, suppliers, and the local community during a manufacturing expansion for the Crescent unit, which term should be selected? Option A, shareholder only. Option B, span of control. Option C, stakeholder. Option D, PERT activity. The correct answer is option C, stakeholder. Stakeholder fits because stakeholders are groups or individuals affected by or able to affect the organization. Shareholder only is different because it is only one type of stakeholder. Span of control is different because it counts direct reports, and PERT activity is different because it is a project scheduling element. Question 11. For an exam item where a team writes a goal that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound within a non-profit organization for the Crescent unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, vision statement. Option B, grapevine. Option C, bureaucracy. Option D, SMART goal. The correct answer is option D, SMART goal. SMART goal fits because SMART goals are clear enough to guide action and evaluate results. Vision statement is different because it describes a desired future rather than a measurable target. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and bureaucracy is different because it is a formal rule-based structure. Question 12. In a workplace example where employees learn skills needed for their current job inside a regional branch for the Crescent unit, which concept is tested? Option A, development. Option B, recruitment. Option C, compensation. Option D, training. The correct answer is option D, training. Training fits because training develops abilities that improve current job performance. Development is different because it prepares employees for broader future roles. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and compensation is different because it provides pay and benefits. Question 13. Before choosing an answer about materials arrive shortly before they are needed in production in a customer service center for the Crescent unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, just-in-time inventory. Option B, safety stock. Option C, job rotation. Option D, SWOT analysis. The correct answer is option A, just-in-time inventory. Just-in-time inventory fits because JIT reduces inventory holding by coordinating deliveries closely with production needs. Safety stock is different because it keeps extra inventory as a buffer. Job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs, and SWOT analysis is different because it studies strategic factors. Question 14. One manager notices that employees work harder when they believe effort leads to performance and performance leads to valued rewards at a family-owned business for the Crescent unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, equity theory. Option B, expectancy theory. Option C, reinforcement theory. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option B, expectancy theory. Expectancy theory fits because expectancy theory connects effort, performance, and outcomes. Equity theory is different because it centers on fairness comparisons. Reinforcement theory is different because it focuses on consequences after behavior, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy. Question 15. Could a case where employees share unwritten values about how work should be done in a multinational company for the Crescent unit best point to which concept? Option A, organizational culture. Option B, organization chart. Option C, budget. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option A, organizational culture. Organizational culture fits because organizational culture is the shared values, beliefs, and assumptions of members. Organization chart is different because it shows formal structure. Budget is different because it allocates money, and job specification is different because it lists required qualifications. Question 16. Why would a scenario where a manager assigns a task and grants enough authority to complete it at a new startup for the Crescent unit most likely test which idea? Option A, centralization. Option B, job rotation. Option C, arbitration. Option D, delegation. The correct answer is option D, delegation. Delegation fits because delegation transfers responsibility for work along with the authority needed to do it. Centralization is different because it keeps authority near the top. Job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs, and arbitration is different because it uses a third party to make a binding dispute decision. Question 17. Where does experts give anonymous opinions through several rounds of questionnaires at a warehouse facility for the Crescent unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, town hall meeting. Option B, functional structure. Option C, concurrent control. Option D, Delphi technique. The correct answer is option D, Delphi technique. Delphi technique fits because the Delphi technique gathers expert judgment while reducing direct social pressure. Town hall meeting is different because it is open discussion rather than anonymous expert rounds. Functional structure is different because it groups similar activities, and concurrent control is different because it monitors current work. Question 18. Should a student connect each side gives up part of what it wants to reach a settlement inside a project team for the Crescent unit with which management concept? Option A, collaboration. Option B, avoidance. Option C, accommodation. Option D, compromise. The correct answer is option D, compromise. Compromise fits because compromise resolves conflict through mutual concessions. Collaboration is different because it seeks a fuller win-win solution. Avoidance is different because it sidesteps the issue, and accommodation is different because it yields to the other side. Question 19. Which concept is shown when an organization designs pay rates, incentives, and salary ranges inside a training program for the Crescent unit? Option A, compensation. Option B, benefits. Option C, recruitment. Option D, quality control. The correct answer is option A, compensation. Compensation fits because compensation covers financial rewards given for employee work. Benefits is different because they are indirect rewards such as insurance or leave. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and quality control is different because it checks output against standards. Question 20. Managers compare internal strengths and weaknesses with external opportunities and threats during a manufacturing expansion for the Crescent unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, PERT analysis. Option B, performance appraisal. Option C, collective bargaining. Option D, SWOT analysis. The correct answer is option D, SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis fits because SWOT analysis organizes internal and external factors for strategic planning. PERT analysis is different because it schedules complex project activities. Performance appraisal is different because it evaluates an employee's work, and collective bargaining is different because it negotiates labor agreements. Question 21. During a management case, leaders describe what the organization wants to become in the future within a nonprofit organization for the Crescent unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, vision statement. Option B, role. Option C, job description. Option D, concurrent control. The correct answer is option A, vision statement. Vision statement fits because a vision statement expresses an inspiring future state. Role is different because it states a specific required or prohibited behavior. Job description is different because it lists duties of a position, and concurrent control is different because it monitors work while it is happening. Question 22. How should a manager classify a situation where managers choose practices that protect resources for future use inside a regional branch for the Crescent unit? Option A, job specification. Option B, sustainability. Option C, forcing. Option D, tactical planning. The correct answer is option B, sustainability. Sustainability fits because sustainability balances present performance with long-term environmental and social effects. Job specification is different because it lists qualifications. Forcing is different because it imposes a conflict decision, and tactical planning is different because it converts strategy into departmental plans. Question 23. When a theorist emphasizes hierarchy, formal rules, and impersonal treatment in a customer service center for the Crescent unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, bureaucratic management. Option B, human relations management. Option C, transformational leadership. Option D, JIT inventory. The correct answer is option A, bureaucratic management. Bureaucratic management fits because bureaucratic management explains organizations through formal authority, rules, and specialization. Human relations management is different because it emphasizes social and psychological factors. Transformational leadership is different because it inspires change through vision, and JIT inventory is different because it reduces inventory holding. Question 24. After a company reinforces a new process until it becomes the normal way to work at a family-owned business for the Crescent unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, unfreezing. Option B, refreezing. Option C, storming. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option B, refreezing. Refreezing fits because refreezing stabilizes a change so the new behavior lasts. Unfreezing is different because it prepares people for change, storming is different because it is a team development stage, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 25. If employees can trace who reports to whom from supervisor to executive in a multinational company for the Crescent unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, benchmarking. Option C, chain of command. Option D, equity theory. The correct answer is option C, chain of command. Chain of command fits because the chain of command shows the formal line of authority. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility to work. Benchmarking is different because it compares performance with best practices, and equity theory is different because it concerns perceived fairness. Question 26. To analyze a case where a team ignores warning signs because members want agreement more than realistic evaluation at a new startup for the Crescent unit, which term should be selected? Option A, constructive conflict. Option B, benchmarking. Option C, groupthink. Option D, equity theory. The correct answer is option C, groupthink. Groupthink fits because groupthink occurs when pressure for harmony weakens critical thinking. Constructive conflict is different because it encourages useful disagreement. Benchmarking is different because it compares with best practices, and equity theory is different because it focuses on perceived fairness. Question 27. For an exam item where a department head groups jobs, assigns authority, and allocates resources at a warehouse facility for the Crescent unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, organizing. Option B, planning. Option C, leading. Option D, controlling. The correct answer is option A, organizing. Organizing fits because organizing creates the structure needed to carry out a plan. Planning is different because it chooses goals before the structure is built. Leading is different because it motivates people rather than designs jobs. And controlling is different because it checks performance after standards exist. Question 28. In a workplace example where employees are grouped into departments such as finance, marketing, and operations inside a project team for the Crescent unit, which concept is tested? Option A, divisional structure. Option B, functional structure. Option C, matrix structure. Option D, virtual team. The correct answer is option B, functional structure. Functional structure fits because a functional structure groups people by similar skills or activities. Divisional structure is different because it groups by product, customer, or geography. Matrix structure is different because it creates dual reporting lines, and virtual team is different because it works across distance through technology. Question 29. Before choosing an answer about employees continuously share knowledge and adapt from experience inside a training program for the Crescent unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, learning organization. Option B, bureaucracy. Option C, centralization. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option A, learning organization. Learning organization fits because a learning organization develops the ability to learn, adapt, and improve continuously. Bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy. Centralization is different because it keeps authority at the top, and job specification is different because it lists qualifications. Question 30. One manager notices that a manager focuses attention only on major deviations from standards during a manufacturing expansion for the Crescent unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, management by exception. Option B, micromanagement. Option C, laissez-faire leadership. Option D, job enlargement. The correct answer is option A, management by exception. Management by exception fits because management by exception saves attention for significant performance gaps. Micromanagement is different because it closely controls small details. Laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives broad freedom, and job enlargement is different because it adds similar tasks. Question 31. Could a case where frontline supervisors plan specific daily activities and work routines within a nonprofit organization for the Crescent Unit best point to which concept? Option A, operational planning. Option B, strategic planning. Option C, organization development. Option D, benchmarking. The correct answer is option A, operational planning. Operational planning fits because operational planning deals with short-range tasks, procedures, and schedules. Strategic planning is different because it covers broad long-term direction. Organization development is different because it focuses on planned organizational change, and benchmarking is different because it compares practices with leading performers. Question 32. Why would a scenario where a leader makes decisions alone and expects quick compliance inside a regional branch for the Crescent Unit most likely test which idea? Option A, democratic leadership. Option B, laissez-faire leadership. Option C, servant leadership. Option D, autocratic leadership. The correct answer is option D, autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership fits because autocratic leadership centralizes authority in the leader. Democratic leadership is different because it invites participation, laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives followers wide freedom, and servant leadership is different because it emphasizes serving followers' needs. Question 33. Where does leaders explain why old habits must change before introducing a new system in a customer service center for the Crescent Unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, refreezing. Option B, controlling. Option C, unfreezing. Option D, recruiting. The correct answer is option C, unfreezing. Unfreezing fits because unfreezing prepares people to let go of current behaviors and accept change. Refreezing is different because it stabilizes the new behavior, controlling is different because it measures performance against standards, and recruiting is different because it attracts applicants. Question 34. Should a student connect a team generates many ideas before judging any of them at a family-owned business for the Crescent Unit with which management concept? Option A, brainstorming. Option B, groupthink. Option C, arbitration. Option D, budgeting. The correct answer is option A, brainstorming. Brainstorming fits because brainstorming separates idea generation from evaluation to encourage creativity. Groupthink is different because it pressures members toward agreement, arbitration is different because it lets a third party decide a dispute, and budgeting is different because it plans financial resources. Question 35. Which concept is shown when managers use organized data reports to support planning and control in a multinational company for the Crescent Unit? Option A, labor union. Option B, job enrichment. Option C, management information system. Option D, autocratic leadership. The correct answer is option C, management information system. Management information system fits because MIS provides useful information for managerial decision-making. Labor union is different because it represents workers, job enrichment is different because it redesigns work for motivation, and autocratic leadership is different because it centralizes decisions. Question 36. Workers plan, schedule, monitor, and control much of their own work at a new startup for the Crescent Unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, self-managed team. Option B, traditional team. Option C, virtual organization. Option D, quality circle. The correct answer is option A, self-managed team. Self-managed team fits because self-managed teams have authority over many administrative and work process decisions. Traditional team is different because it relies more on a supervisor for direction. Virtual organization is different because it uses networks and technology across locations, and quality circle is different because it usually recommends improvements rather than manages all work. Question 37. During a management case, a routine refund request is handled with an established policy at a warehouse facility for the Crescent Unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, non-program decision. Option B, program decision. Option C, strategic alliance. Option D, job enrichment. The correct answer is option B, program decision. Program decision fits because program decisions use rules or procedures for recurring problems. Non-program decision is different because it addresses new and unusual situations. Strategic alliance is different because it is cooperation between firms, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns work. Question 38. How should a manager classify a situation where team members write ideas silently, discuss them, and rank the options inside a project team for the Crescent Unit? Option A, brainstorming. Option B, grapevine. Option C, job analysis. Option D, nominal group technique. The correct answer is option D, nominal group technique. Nominal group technique fits because the nominal group technique reduces dominance by collecting individual ideas before voting. Brainstorming is different because it usually encourages open idea generation. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and job analysis is different because it studies work duties. Question 39. When a leader rewards employees for meeting agreed performance targets inside a training program for the Crescent unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, transformational leadership. Option B, servant leadership. Option C, transactional leadership. Option D, situational leadership. The correct answer is option C, transactional leadership. Transactional leadership fits because transactional leadership uses exchanges, rewards, and corrective actions. Transformational leadership is different because it inspires commitment to change. Servant leadership is different because it emphasizes serving followers. And situational leadership is different because it adapts style to readiness. Question 40. After a neutral selection test disproportionately screens out a protected group without job-related justification during a manufacturing expansion for the Crescent unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, management by objectives. Option C, horizontal communication. Option D, adverse impact. The correct answer is option D, adverse impact. Adverse impact fits because adverse impact occurs when an employment practice has an unfair discriminatory effect. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivators to work. Management by objectives is different because it sets agreed measurable goals, and horizontal communication is different because it occurs among peers. Question 41. If a supervisor paraphrases an employee's concern before responding within a non-profit organization for the Crescent unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, filtering. Option B, noise. Option C, downward control. Option D, active listening. The correct answer is option D, active listening. Active listening fits because active listening checks understanding and shows attention to the speaker. Filtering is different because it distorts information before it reaches the receiver. Noise is different because it interferes with communication, and downward control is different because it is not a standard communication concept. Question 42. To analyze a case where employees worry a new system will reduce their status or job security inside a regional branch for the Crescent unit, which term should be selected? Option A, empowerment. Option B, resistance to change. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, orientation. The correct answer is option B, resistance to change. Resistance to change fits because resistance to change often comes from fear, uncertainty, or perceived loss. Empowerment is different because it gives people more discretion. Benchmarking is different because it compares against best practices. And orientation is different because it introduces employees to the organization. Question 43. For an exam item where a firm uses digital systems to sell, serve customers, and coordinate operations in a customer service center for the Crescent unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, job analysis. Option B, autocratic leadership. Option C, e-business. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option C, e-business. E-business fits because e-business uses internet and digital technologies to conduct business processes. Job analysis is different because it studies work duties. Autocratic leadership is different because it centralizes decisions, and mediation is different because it helps parties reach agreement. Question 44. In a workplace example where a manager sends instructions and performance expectations to employees at a family-owned business for the Crescent unit, which concept is tested? Option A, downward communication. Option B, upward communication. Option C, horizontal communication. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option A, downward communication. Downward communication fits because downward communication flows from higher levels to lower levels. Upward communication is different because it moves from employees to managers. Horizontal communication is different because it moves among peers, and grapevine is different because it is informal and unofficial. Question 45. Before choosing an answer about employees generate original ideas for solving a customer problem in a multinational company for the Crescent unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, control. Option B, recruitment. Option C, creativity. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option C, creativity. Creativity fits because creativity is the production of novel and useful ideas. Control is different because it measures results against standards. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy. Question 46. One manager notices that employees in marketing and operations coordinate work at the same level at a new startup for the Crescent unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, downward communication. Option B, upward communication. Option C, chain of command. Option D, horizontal communication. The correct answer is option D, horizontal communication. Horizontal communication fits because horizontal communication occurs among people or units at similar levels. Downward communication is different because it flows down the hierarchy, upward communication is different because it flows up the hierarchy, and chain of command is different because it shows formal authority lines. Question 47. Could a case where a high potential employee is prepared for future leadership roles at a warehouse facility for the Crescent unit best point to which concept? Option A, development. Option B, training. Option C, selection. Option D, job description. The correct answer is option A, development. Development fits because development builds long-term capabilities for future responsibilities. Training is different because it focuses more on current job skills, selection is different because it chooses candidates, and job description is different because it lists current duties. Question 48. Why would a scenario where a neutral third party helps disputing employees reach their own agreement inside a project team for the Crescent unit most likely test which idea? Option A, mediation. Option B, arbitration. Option C, collective bargaining. Option D, groupthink. The correct answer is option A, mediation. Mediation fits because mediation guides the process without imposing a binding decision. Arbitration is different because it usually gives the third-party decision power. Collective bargaining is different because it is labor management negotiation, and groupthink is different because it is pressure toward agreement. Question 49. Where does a supervisor is responsible for 12 direct reports inside a training program for the Crescent unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, chain of command. Option B, span of control. Option C, unity of direction. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option B, span of control. Span of control fits because span of control is the number of employees reporting directly to a manager. Chain of command is different because it shows reporting lines rather than number of reports. Unity of direction is different because it aligns activities under one plan, and job specification is different because it lists qualifications. Question 50. Should a student connect frontline employees send suggestions and problems to senior managers during a manufacturing expansion for the Crescent unit with which management concept? Option A, upward communication. Option B, downward communication. Option C, horizontal communication. Option D, external communication. The correct answer is option A, upward communication. Upward communication fits because upward communication flows from lower levels to higher levels. Downward communication is different because it flows from managers to employees. Horizontal communication is different because it flows across peers, and external communication is different because it crosses organizational boundaries. Question 51. Which concept is shown when a manager sets objectives and chooses actions before work begins within a non-profit organization for the Crescent unit? Option A, organizing. Option B, leading. Option C, planning. Option D, controlling. The correct answer is option C, planning. Planning fits because planning is the function that defines goals and decides how to reach them. Organizing is different because it arranges resources after goals are set. Leading is different because it influences people to work toward goals, and controlling is different because it measures results against standards. Question 52. A supervisor motivates employees and guides them toward a shared goal inside a regional branch for the Crescent unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, leading. Option B, planning. Option C, organizing. Option D, controlling. The correct answer is option A, leading. Leading fits because leading focuses on influencing, motivating, and directing people. Planning is different because it is about setting direction before action. Organizing is different because it designs responsibilities and relationships, and controlling is different because it compares results with standards. Question 53. During a management case, employees from different backgrounds are actively involved in meetings and decisions in a customer service center for the Crescent unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, inclusion. Option B, recruitment. Option C, filtering. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option A, inclusion. Inclusion fits because inclusion means people are welcomed, respected, and able to contribute. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, filtering is different because it distorts communication, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy. Question 54. How should a manager classify a situation where a company creates separate units for consumer products, business products, and services at a family-owned business for the Crescent unit? Option A, functional structure. Option B, divisional structure. Option C, simple structure. Option D, staff authority. The correct answer is option B, divisional structure. Divisional structure fits because a divisional structure groups work around products, customers, or regions. Functional structure is different because it groups by specialized activities. Simple structure is different because it has little formalization and few departments, and staff authority is different because it gives advice rather than a full divisional design. Question 55. When a manager chooses a leadership style based on the team's skill and the situation in a multinational company for the Crescent unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, one best way approach. Option B, equity theory. Option C, contingency theory. Option D, centralization. The correct answer is option C, contingency theory. Contingency theory fits because contingency theory says effective management depends on situational factors. One best way approach is different because it assumes one method works everywhere. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness perceptions, and centralization is different because it concerns where authority is held. Question 56. After a plant measures output produced per labor hour at a new startup for the Crescent unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, profit margin. Option B, span of control. Option C, productivity. Option D, job enrichment. The correct answer is option C, productivity. Productivity fits because productivity compares outputs with the inputs used to produce them. Profit margin is different because it compares profit with sales. Span of control is different because it counts direct reports, and job enrichment is different because it adds motivators to work. Question 57. If a manager chooses a satisfactory solution because time and information are limited at a warehouse facility for the Crescent unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, perfect rationality. Option B, brainstorming. Option C, management by exception. Option D, bounded rationality. The correct answer is option D, bounded rationality. Bounded rationality fits because bounded rationality recognizes that managers cannot always make perfectly rational decisions. Perfect rationality is different because it assumes complete information and unlimited analysis. Brainstorming is different because it generates many ideas, and management by exception is different because it focuses attention on major deviations. Question 58. To analyze a case where an employee accepts the duty to complete an assigned task inside a project team for the Crescent unit, which term should be selected? Option A, authority. Option B, responsibility. Option C, accountability. Option D, centralization. The correct answer is option B, responsibility. Responsibility fits because responsibility is the obligation to perform assigned work. Authority is different because it is the right to direct work. Accountability is different because it is answerability for outcomes, and centralization is different because it keeps decisions at higher levels. Question 59. For an exam item where a team member reduces tension and encourages quieter members to participate inside a training program for the Crescent unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, task role. Option B, maintenance role. Option C, program decision. Option D, line authority. The correct answer is option B, maintenance role. Maintenance role fits because maintenance roles support group relationships and cohesion. Task role is different because it focuses directly on completing the work. Program decision is different because it handles routine problems, and line authority is different because it commands core work activities. Question 60. In a workplace example where employees share unofficial information before management makes a formal announcement during a manufacturing expansion for the Crescent unit, which concept is tested? Option A, grapevine. Option B, organization chart. Option C, policy manual. Option D, budget report. The correct answer is option A, grapevine. Grapevine fits because the grapevine is the informal communication network inside an organization. Organization chart is different because it is a formal structure diagram. Policy manual is different because it gives official guidance, and budget report is different because it gives financial control information. Question 61. Before choosing an answer about a team produces the same output using fewer resources within a non-profit organization for the Crescent unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, efficiency. Option B, effectiveness. Option C, equity. Option D, authority. The correct answer is option A, efficiency. Efficiency fits because efficiency means using resources wisely with minimal waste. Effectiveness is different because it means achieving the right goals, equity is different because it concerns fairness, and authority is different because it is the right to make decisions. Question 62. One manager notices that a company changes its processes to comply with new workplace safety rules inside a regional branch for the Crescent unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, grapevine. Option B, government regulation. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, power distance. The correct answer is option B, government regulation. Government regulation fits because government regulation sets legal requirements that organizations must follow. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility, and power distance is different because it is a cultural value dimension. Question 63. Could a case where a team member keeps discussion focused on goals, facts, and deadlines in a customer service center for the Crescent unit best point to which concept? Option A, maintenance role. Option B, blocking role. Option C, informal authority. Option D, task role. The correct answer is option D, task role. Task role fits because task roles help the group accomplish its work. Maintenance role is different because it supports relationships and morale. Blocking role is different because it disrupts group progress, and informal authority is different because it comes from influence rather than position. Question 64. Why would a scenario where an engineer reports to both a functional manager and a project manager at a family-owned business for the Crescent unit most likely test which idea? Option A, functional structure. Option B, matrix structure. Option C, centralization. Option D, job analysis. The correct answer is option B, matrix structure. Matrix structure fits because a matrix structure combines functional and project authority, creating dual reporting. Functional structure is different because it usually has one functional chain. Centralization is different because it refers to where decisions are made, and job analysis is different because it studies the content of a job. Question 65. Where does a production manager directly supervises employees who make the company's product in a multinational company for the Crescent unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, staff authority. Option B, line authority. Option C, informal authority. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option B, line authority. Line authority fits because line authority is direct authority over core work activities. Staff authority is different because it provides advice and support. Informal authority is different because it comes from relationships rather than formal position, and mediation is different because it helps parties settle a dispute. Question 66. Should a student connect a manager uses formal authority to impose a conflict decision quickly at a new startup for the Crescent unit with which management concept? Option A, forcing. Option B, accommodation. Option C, collaboration. Option D, compromise. The correct answer is option A, forcing. Forcing fits because forcing is a win-lose style that relies on power or authority. Accommodation is different because it gives in to preserve harmony. Collaboration is different because it seeks mutual gains, and compromise is different because it splits concessions between sides. Question 67. Which concept is shown when a new customer segment appears in the market at a warehouse facility for the Crescent unit? Option A, weakness. Option B, strength. Option C, policy. Option D, opportunity. The correct answer is option D, opportunity. Opportunity fits because an opportunity is an external condition the organization can use to improve results. Weakness is different because it is inside the organization, strength is different because it is an internal advantage, and policy is different because it is a general decision guideline. Question 68. An HR specialist advises managers about hiring rules without running their departments inside a project team for the Crescent unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, line authority. Option B, staff authority. Option C, centralization. Option D, concurrent control. The correct answer is option B, staff authority. Staff authority fits because staff authority supports line managers with specialized advice. Line authority is different because it directly commands core work. Centralization is different because it concerns where decisions are made, and concurrent control is different because it monitors work in progress. Question 69. During a management case, a company identifies a patented process it owns as an advantage inside a training program for the Crescent unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, strength. Option B, threat. Option C, opportunity. Option D, weakness. The correct answer is option A, strength. Strength fits because a strength is an internal positive capability or resource. Threat is different because it is an external danger, opportunity is different because it is an external positive condition, and weakness is different because it is an internal limitation. Question 70. How should a manager classify a situation where a manager defines a problem, lists alternatives, evaluates them, and selects a solution during a manufacturing expansion for the Crescent unit? Option A, grapevine. Option B, rational decision-making model. Option C, equity theory. Option D, laissez-faire leadership. The correct answer is option B, rational decision-making model. Rational decision-making model fits because the rational model uses a logical sequence to choose among alternatives. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, equity theory is different because it explains motivation through fairness, and laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives followers broad freedom. Question 71. When a manager has the formal right to make decisions and direct work within a non-profit organization for the Crescent unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, responsibility. Option B, accountability. Option C, authority. Option D, motivation. The correct answer is option C, authority. Authority fits because authority is the legitimate right to command resources and give orders. Responsibility is different because it is the duty to perform assigned work, accountability is different because it is being answerable for results, and motivation is different because it is the drive to act. Question 72. After work is studied to find the most efficient way to perform each task inside a regional branch for the Crescent unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, scientific management. Option B, human relations approach. Option C, contingency theory. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option A, scientific management. Scientific management fits because scientific management emphasizes task analysis, standard methods, and efficiency. Human relations approach is different because it emphasizes social needs and worker attitudes. Contingency theory is different because it argues management depends on the situation, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes hierarchy and rules. Question 73. If a department reaches the goal that customers actually value in a customer service center for the Crescent unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, efficiency. Option B, specialization. Option C, filtering. Option D, effectiveness. The correct answer is option D, effectiveness. Effectiveness fits because effectiveness means achieving intended goals and doing the right things. Efficiency is different because it focuses on resource use, specialization is different because it divides work into narrow tasks, and filtering is different because it distorts messages. Question 74. To analyze a case where executives respond to a crisis the company has never faced before at a family-owned business for the Crescent unit, which term should be selected? Option A, program decision. Option B, procedure. Option C, non-program decision. Option D, standing plan. The correct answer is option C, non-program decision. Non-program decision fits because non-program decisions are novel, complex, and not solved by routine rules. Program decision is different because it handles repeated problems, procedure is different because it gives routine steps, and standing plan is different because it guides recurring situations. Question 75. For an exam item where a company compares its process with industry leaders to find improvement targets in a multinational company for the Crescent unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, forecasting. Option B, orientation. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option C, benchmarking. Benchmarking fits because benchmarking studies best practices to improve performance. Forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions, orientation is different because it introduces new employees, and mediation is different because it guides conflict resolution. Question 76. In a workplace example where managers estimate future sales before setting staffing levels at a new startup for the Crescent unit, which concept is tested? Option A, forecasting. Option B, delegation. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option A, forecasting. Forecasting fits because forecasting predicts future conditions so managers can plan more intelligently. Delegation is different because it assigns responsibility and authority. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility to a job, and mediation is different because it uses a neutral party to guide dispute resolution. Question 77. Before choosing an answer about employees, follow a required sequence for approving purchase orders at a warehouse facility for the Crescent unit. Which concept should stand out? Option A, procedure. Option B, policy. Option C, mission. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option A, procedure. Procedure fits because a procedure lists the steps for completing a recurring task. Policy is different because it is broader and less step-by-step. Mission is different because it states the organization's purpose, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 78. One manager notices that a firm discovers its outdated software is hurting productivity inside a project team for the Crescent unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, strength. Option B, weakness. Option C, opportunity. Option D, threat. The correct answer is option B, weakness. Weakness fits because a weakness is an internal limitation that can reduce performance. Strength is different because it is an internal advantage. Opportunity is different because it comes from a favorable external condition, and threat is different because it comes from an unfavorable external condition. Question 79. Could a case where a neutral third party hears a dispute and makes a binding decision inside a training program for the Crescent unit best point to which concept? Option A, mediation. Option B, brainstorming. Option C, job rotation. Option D, arbitration. The correct answer is option D, arbitration. Arbitration fits because arbitration gives the third party authority to decide the outcome. Mediation is different because it helps parties negotiate without imposing a decision. Brainstorming is different because it generates ideas, and job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs. Question 80. Why would a scenario where managers set expected revenues and spending limits for a department during a manufacturing expansion for the Crescent unit most likely test which idea? Option A, budget. Option B, organization chart. Option C, job description. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option A, budget. Budget fits because a budget is a financial plan that helps allocate and control resources. Organization chart is different because it shows formal reporting relationships. Job description is different because it lists position duties, and grapevine is different because it is informal communication. Question 81. Where does a company prepares a backup response in case a supplier fails within a non-profit organization for the Crescent unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, contingency plan. Option B, standing rule. Option C, job analysis. Option D, downward communication. The correct answer is option A, contingency plan. Contingency plan fits because a contingency plan prepares for possible future events or disruptions. Standing rule is different because it gives a continuing command for repeated behavior. Job analysis is different because it studies tasks and requirements, and downward communication is different because it flows from managers to employees. Question 82. Should a student connect a manager studies how changes in one department affect suppliers, employees, and customers inside a regional branch for the Crescent unit with which management concept? Option A, scientific management. Option B, systems theory. Option C, job specification. Option D, downward communication. The correct answer is option B, systems theory. Systems theory fits because systems theory views the organization as interdependent parts within a larger environment. Scientific management is different because it focuses on efficient task design. Job specification is different because it lists worker qualifications, and downward communication is different because it describes message direction. Question 83. Which concept is shown when a manager must explain why a project missed its target in a customer service center for the Crescent unit? Option A, authority. Option B, delegation. Option C, recruitment. Option D, accountability. The correct answer is option D, accountability. Accountability fits because accountability means being answerable for results. Authority is different because it is decision-making power. Delegation is different because it transfers work and authority to another person, and recruitment is different because it attracts job applicants. Question 84. A manager postpones addressing a conflict and hopes it disappears at a family-owned business for the Crescent unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, avoidance. Option B, forcing. Option C, collaboration. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option A, avoidance. Avoidance fits because avoidance delays or withdraws from conflict rather than solving it directly. Forcing is different because it uses authority to impose a solution. Collaboration is different because it openly works through both sides' concerns, and mediation is different because it uses a neutral facilitator. Question 85. During a management case, a leader recognizes frustration in a team and responds calmly in a multinational company for the Crescent Unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, emotional intelligence. Option B, technical skill. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option A, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence fits because emotional intelligence involves understanding and managing emotions in oneself and others. Technical skill is different because it concerns specialized job knowledge. Benchmarking is different because it compares practices with leaders, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 86. How should a manager classify a situation where employees receive health insurance, paid leave, and retirement contributions at a new startup for the Crescent Unit? Option A, benefits. Option B, base pay. Option C, selection. Option D, SWOT analysis. The correct answer is option A, benefits. Benefits fits because benefits are indirect forms of compensation beyond direct wages or salary. Base pay is different because it is direct wage or salary compensation. Selection is different because it chooses employees, and SWOT analysis is different because it reviews strategic factors. Question 87. When middle managers convert broad goals into departmental actions at a warehouse facility for the Crescent Unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, strategic planning. Option B, orientation. Option C, collective bargaining. Option D, tactical planning. The correct answer is option D, tactical planning. Tactical planning fits because tactical planning translates strategy into plans for units or departments. Strategic planning is different because it is broader and handled mainly by top management. Orientation is different because it introduces new employees to the organization, and collective bargaining is different because it is negotiation between labor and management. Question 88. After an employee receives performance input from supervisors, peers, subordinates, and sometimes customers inside a project team for the Crescent Unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, 360-degree feedback. Option B, self-managed team. Option C, job specification. Option D, budget control. The correct answer is option A, 360-degree feedback. 360-degree feedback fits because 360-degree feedback gathers appraisal information from multiple sources around the employee. Self-managed team is different because it gives a team control over work. Job specification is different because it lists qualifications, and budget control is different because it compares financial results with a budget. Question 89. If executives choose broad long-term goals for the whole organization inside a training program for the Crescent Unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, operational planning. Option B, strategic planning. Option C, work scheduling. Option D, performance appraisal. The correct answer is option B, strategic planning. Strategic planning fits because strategic planning sets organization-wide direction over a longer time horizon. Operational planning is different because it focuses on short-term day-to-day activities. Work scheduling is different because it assigns timing to tasks, and performance appraisal is different because it evaluates employee results. Question 90. To analyze a case where managers estimate how much output a facility must be able to produce during a manufacturing expansion for the Crescent Unit, which term should be selected? Option A, job evaluation. Option B, mediation. Option C, capacity planning. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option C, capacity planning. Capacity planning fits because capacity planning determines the production ability needed to meet demand. Job evaluation is different because it helps determine pay value. Mediation is different because it supports dispute resolution, and grapevine is different because it is informal communication. Question 91. For an exam item where managers recognize that social needs and group norms affect productivity within a nonprofit organization for the Crescent Unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, human relations approach. Option B, scientific management. Option C, classical bureaucracy. Option D, PERT. The correct answer is option A, human relations approach. Human relations approach fits because the human relations approach emphasizes people, morale, and social factors at work. Scientific management is different because it emphasizes efficient task methods. Classical bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes formal rules and hierarchy, and PERT is different because it schedules project activities. Question 92. In a workplace example where someone starts a new venture by taking risk to pursue an opportunity inside a regional branch for the Crescent Unit, which concept is tested? Option A, bureaucracy. Option B, performance appraisal. Option C, entrepreneurship. Option D, feed-forward control. The correct answer is option C, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship fits because entrepreneurship involves creating a venture, taking risk, and seeking opportunity. Bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes formal rules, performance appraisal is different because it evaluates employees, and feed-forward control is different because it checks inputs before action. Question 93. Before choosing an answer about two departments, search for a solution that fully addresses both sides' concerns in a customer service center for the Crescent unit. Which concept should stand out? Option A, avoidance. Option B, collaboration. Option C, forcing. Option D, compromise. The correct answer is option B, collaboration. Collaboration fits because collaboration tries to create a win-win outcome by addressing underlying interests. Avoidance is different because it postpones or ignores the conflict. Forcing is different because it uses power to win at the other's expense, and compromise is different because it requires each side to give up something. Question 94. One manager notices that major decisions must be approved by top executives at a family-owned business for the Crescent unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, decentralization. Option B, centralization. Option C, empowerment. Option D, horizontal communication. The correct answer is option B, centralization. Centralization fits because centralization concentrates decision authority at higher levels. Decentralization is different because it pushes authority to lower levels, empowerment is different because it gives employees more discretion, and horizontal communication is different because it flows among peers. Question 95. Could a case where a manager compares actual spending with the budgeted amount and investigates the difference in a multinational company for the Crescent unit best point to which concept? Option A, job analysis. Option B, brainstorming. Option C, variance analysis. Option D, organization chart. The correct answer is option C, variance analysis. Variance analysis fits because variance analysis identifies gaps between planned and actual results. Job analysis is different because it studies job content, brainstorming is different because it generates ideas, and organization chart is different because it shows reporting lines. Question 96. Why would a scenario where a leader inspires employees with a vision for major change at a new startup for the Crescent unit most likely test which idea? Option A, transactional leadership. Option B, scientific management. Option C, transformational leadership. Option D, budgetary control. The correct answer is option C, transformational leadership. Transformational leadership fits because transformational leadership motivates people through vision, meaning, and change. Transactional leadership is different because it focuses on exchanges and rewards. Scientific management is different because it focuses on task efficiency, and budgetary control is different because it monitors financial results. Question 97. Where does a leader gives capable experts broad freedom and little direct supervision at a warehouse facility for the Crescent unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, bureaucratic leadership. Option C, laissez-faire leadership. Option D, transactional leadership. The correct answer is option C, laissez-faire leadership. Laissez-faire leadership fits because laissez-faire leadership minimizes leader control and allows follower autonomy. Autocratic leadership is different because it is directive and centralized. Bureaucratic leadership is different because it follows rules closely, and transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes rewards and corrections. Question 98. Should a student connect leaders explain the organization's basic purpose and reason for existing inside a project team for the Crescent unit with which management concept? Option A, procedure. Option B, mission statement. Option C, variance report. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option B, mission statement. Mission statement fits because a mission statement states what the organization does and why it exists. Procedure is different because it gives step-by-step instructions. Variance report is different because it compares actual results with standards, and job specification is different because it lists qualifications for a job. Question 99. Which concept is shown when a company gives managers broad guidance for handling customer refunds inside a training program for the Crescent unit? Option A, policy. Option B, procedure. Option C, rule. Option D, vision. The correct answer is option A, policy. Policy fits because a policy is a general guideline for recurring decisions. Procedure is different because it gives exact steps to follow. Rule is different because it states a specific required or prohibited action, and vision is different because it describes a desired future. Question 100. A leader asks employees for input before making an important decision during a manufacturing expansion for the Crescent unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, laissez-faire leadership. Option C, democratic leadership. Option D, transactional leadership. The correct answer is option C, democratic leadership. Democratic leadership fits because democratic leadership involves participation and shared input. Autocratic leadership is different because it relies on leader-centered decision-making. Laissez-faire leadership is different because it provides minimal direction, and transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes exchanges of rewards for performance.